The best love story is when you fall in love with the most unexpected person at the most unexpected time. Yes, this is something that takes us back to our conversation that we had last time about relationships, wherein we were trying to find out using some signs to identify if we are in the right relationship. Well, the way relationships are more fun if it is unexpected, unplanned, and it goes with the flow. It's also important that we do stay on the same team even when we are arguing. Hello, listeners. This is Ruchi Bakhai, psychologist and founder of EduPsych. And today, like I had promised in my previous podcast, I am continuing with the other points or signs that will help you identify if you are in the right relationship. Like I had mentioned in my previous podcast, that the very thought of or the very question that am I with the right person, says that you might be having second thoughts. So, in such a situation, it's always more helpful and more wise to look for some signs and come at a conclusion, right? So, let's begin today's podcast. Well, relationships tend to fall apart when partners view each other as enemies during fights. Instead of looking for ways to stay on the same team, so to speak, even when you are both super mad. So, if you and your partner are a good match, you'll notice that you work through conflict, voice your concerns, listen, and reach a resolution. Yes, it is true. This does happen even when you are angry and mad. Because when you argue, but it never gets, vicious if you are with the right person. And importantly, sorry about that. And more importantly, you always come out on the other side with new boundaries and a better understanding of one another. So, yes, today we are beginning with the sixth point that says that you stay on the same team when arguing. That could be one of the signs that you can look out for to understand if you are with the right person or not. Well, think about how it feels when you call and your partner doesn't answer. It often happens, isn't it? We all have busier lives, and the digital world that we live in, it often interrupts so many things that we have going on with us. But still, I encourage you to think about how it feels when you call and your partner doesn't answer, or send a text and they don't write back, or they get home late from work. Do you assume the worst or know that everything's okay? What is it that you feel? It's important for you to realize what is it that you feel, because this particular sign comes with a bit of self work. While past relationship history can play into how easy it is to trust a partner, you're likely with the right person if you can talk about these insecurities and they're open and honest and willing to do whatever it takes to develop trust in your relationship. So please make a note of the seventh sign, that you know they are loyal. If you have that kind of a feeling, if you are that secure that you know that your partner is loyal, then you can be rest assured about being in a right relationship, right? So what this essentially means is that when you voice your concerns, your partner actually listens, and as a result you feel heard and understood. We all want that. We talk not only to blabber and ramble, but we wish to be heard and understood, isn't it? So listening to each other also prevents small problems from becoming bigger ones, which is important if you want to stick together. So, to make a note of the eighth sign today, it would be you actually hear each other, or if I may say, you actually listen to each other. Because without hearing and listening, you wouldn't be able to understand the other. So, thoughts strongly influence how we interpret behaviors of others and our expectations, isn't it? So, we always believe that you feel the way you think. That is why we say that thoughts strongly influence how we interpret behaviors of others and our expectations. So, uh, take a second to evaluate this idea that something's wrong. If you are thinking that if there's something, do take a moment to evaluate this idea that something's wrong. For instance, you may think, my partner doesn't put a ton of effort into romance anymore. Our relationship isn't good and they don't love me. But when you look at reality, it's easy to point out all the ways they are caring and sweet. Yes, you have to actually observe in order to find it out. So that's why it's important to check in with yourself first. Yes, like I said that earlier, it's only evident that today's podcast will make you do a lot of self check, a lot of self work in order to understand what's going on with your relationship. Your thoughts may not be consistent with what's actually going on, and maybe what's causing unnecessary feelings of doubt. So, in order to understand if you are in the right relationship, if you are with the right person, do take time out for self check, for some introspective moments, because you can't pinpoint what's wrong. Just like that, you can't do that. And that is the ninth reminder that I wanted to share with all of you today. So before I end up today's podcast with the 10th point, yes, I'm going to share five signs in each of my podcasts for you to process because I do believe in taking baby steps. So today's last sign would be you feeling the chemistry. Yeah, we all, had a hard time balancing the equations in our chemistry lessons at school. But this one, something that is very, very important and we all seek for. So even if you're having a moment of doubt, consider whether you still feel the chemistry, or that easy breezy, flirty, fun positivity more often than not, right? So do take a moment to understand this. This chemistry is an intangible quality that is often hard to measure, but you know it when it is there, so as well as when it is not there. So this is something where you have to be in touch with yourself in order to understand if it is there or if it is not there. It's okay if you're going through a rough patch. All couples do at times. But if that chemistry is not there, it's yet another sign you are a good match. Okay? So I am leaving you all with a bit of a puzzle here today, where I do say that um, if the chemistry is there, yes, it's good. But if it's not there, still, it's time for you to actually understand if it is just in your head, or are you not in touch with yourself because of which you are doubting it, or is it actually because of the kind of person that you are in, the kind of relationship that you have. So I leave you with a puzzle so that I can encourage you for introspection. Go ahead, take a good look at yourself, and you know where to find the other 10 pointers the next time. So until then, take care and hope you have a very happy and productive day ahead.